Your favorite mother-daughter duo is back.
with a whole new season of Now That's Love.
Hello, loves. I'm Janae LaFleur, a certified holistic health specialist, trauma healing, and intuitive spiritual coach, and so much more. With a degree in science and expertise in brain health, fitness, and wellness, I'm passionate about helping myself and others heal, grow, and thrive.
And I'm Ashlyn LaFleur, wife, proud mom of two, and an educator with a master's in teaching and learning. I specialize in online teaching, a creative and course design, and a published researcher, all while sharing my journey of self-love and growth.
This season, y'all, we're diving even deeper into helping you learn more about yourself, loving yourself unapologetically, and grow into the best version of you.
Our mission is to inspire and empower you each week with real conversations, practical tools, and heartfelt encouragement, all rooted in the belief in the greatest love story of all time isn't just found in a fairy tale. It's the one you create with yourself every single day.
So settle in and let's dive into the beautiful journey of self-love, growth, and transformation together.
This is
Now That's Love.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Ashley and I like to bop our head to be like, hey,
I know.
motion
The
on
brat's
the...
calling me.
Okay, today is going to be our episode officially 2 as far as Ashley and I having our little podcast talking about what's up, things that we have discovered, things that have helped us and we know can help you. So
we are talking today about reintroducing yourself in this new season that you're in. We have talked about so many times in our lives of hopping into new seasons, or like you can also say like deaths of yourself, where you just don't feel like that version of you is continuing on forward and it's officially done for. And I like to compare this to seasons on like TV shows, where season 1 you is not going to be the same season as season 2 all the way through maybe like season 20, whatever season you feel like you're on right now. I personally feel like I'm like on season 11 where it's like there's like been certain points in my life and it's just like, you know what, I'm on season 11 right now, and she doesn't compete or even look back at season 6 because that's just not the version of who I am anymore. I've grown so much. I'm not in the sob story mode all the time or victim mentality. It's more growth and also just not finding perfection in daily life and enjoying the moment of where I'm at right now, not constantly finding the next thing that I need to improve or help on. It's more of just saying, okay, this is where I'm at. This is the season I'm in, and I'm not looking back anymore.
exactly. And so ask yourself as you're listening to some ideas that Ashley and I really came forward for us to help with today that have helped us. What season do you feel like you're in on? Are you continuously watching season 1? Are you feel like you're maybe even so stuck in season 3 where you should be in season 5? You know, you were actually living season 5, but there's just so much like guilt, shame, something going on in season 3 that keeps on pulling you back in there. And what's the purpose? So there's some top questions that really helped me personally, and Ashlyn has some for herself too.
Yeah.
The brain loves questions because when you ask a question, it has to answer it. So one of the things that can be extremely beneficial and very quick is to ask yourself a question. And in some of the biggest situations in my life, with my mother passing, divorce, and different things, I have learned to be very present and wire my brain in a way that it wasn't going to be staying where I'm constantly being pulled back to season 2 for myself. So my main question would be to ask, something's coming to your head, you're feeling anxious or sad, and the question is this the story I want to be telling myself? Can I change the story? I'm the creator of this. I'm literally the one narrating this drama right now in my head. Is this what I want? And the brain instantly with that question is going to be most likely no. Well, how would I like to change it? Or what do I want to be living?
You're the
How do I
creator.
want to do this? And what actions can I take right now to change this out? Because the more we are aware in asking these questions, the faster we're not going to be pulled down a rabbit hole. That's just the way it rolls. We're just, when my mom passed away, yes, I'm going to feel all those emotions.
Yeah.
But I also, from day one, I was saying, Mom, I love you. Mom, I love you. I can feel you right now. I want you to know I love you. And then I just felt like she was so happy. And so the story I kept on wanting to tell myself was that when someone is so dear to me that passes away, is that I can have this divine connection with them, that I feel like they can hear me and I can hear them. And that I know that, life, this is part of life's process.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wired my brain. Now we're out 3 months later, where when I think of my mom and the death, there's so much love and compassion for myself and for my mom and our connection. I really, truly, with all my heart, believe she's beyond happy and at peace. And there's even a much deeper love. And I'm grateful that I kept on asking myself the question, is this a story I want to be telling myself? When my mind would want to go to the worst case scenarios, like, oh my goodness, well, what about in 6 months from now? And you're going to be so lonely and all these different things. I'm like, am I really? My mom is in spirit.
Like
she probably sees me more than she saw me, living 17 hours away. And so that's my true belief. And even with getting this new job, the story I'm telling myself constantly, whenever it feels like it's fear, anxiousness, guilt, or shame, I have to ask that question. Is this really the story? Is this true? When we wake up in the morning, so many people will talk to me, and I can relate to the fact that we instantly have something that's going to pounce in on us, like maybe from the night before, guilt, shame, stress about work, whatever it is. And just being so present in that moment and asking a question. Let yourself have the grace of that good 5 minutes, because you did just wake up and your mind might be going all different places. The grace is beautiful to give ourselves. And then for me personally, if I jump in the shower, I'm in a totally different place. Like, actually, I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful I'm alive. And that was kind of silly. I can see how I could see that, but it's not true. So Ashlyn has questions that she asks herself too, and we'll kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the questions I usually ask are the assumption question of like, am I assuming, which a lot of times it is. We've talked about this on previous podcasts where we sometimes have like the main character syndrome, which is great. You are the main character in your season, in your episodes. But also remember that your side characters also have things going on, and they're the main character in their series. And the little side thing that you said, it's not something 95% of the time that they're even thinking about after they left the conversation. They're probably thinking about all the things that they said and rehearsing that back to themselves. So it's like the assumption of who's doing this, what's going on. I think it's like focusing on yourself in your series and not thinking about what Donkey Kong is thinking or Princess Peach is thinking, Let's just focus on that. And I also would like to add that every series that you have, or not series, but every episode that you have, you're gonna have like the good things that happen and the bad things that happen. But you don't see that one bad thing that's happened in that episode and take it and drag it on for 10 other episodes. It's like you face it, you hit it head on the heels, and you deal with it in that moment, and you're not going to let it drag on and on and on. And I feel like there's been certain situations in my life where something will bother me and I don't want to face it head on. So it's in the back of my mind and it will constantly pop up. So face those things first.
Yeah, get them done. Just take care of them. A lot of times, like just brain dumping really fast. you feel like your mind's spinning out of control, the overthinking mind,
Mm-hmm.
brain dump it down and then say, what can I take care of? Somewhere along the line, many of us, and me included, we will start to get overwhelmed and go into freeze mode. We just
Mm-hmm.
freeze. Like, you know what? I'm just going to get my phone and check out with this way, or I'm going to do, I mean, checking out is so very real. And
Yeah.
so if you hurry and write it down and then just take one thing, take the action on one thing, it will start to snowball effect in a way that you feel very quickly. You should start to feel like, oh my gosh, I have this. I have
Mm-hmm.
this. Look how long I accomplished 3 things. I paid my bills. I vacuumed,
Yes.
whatever. And then you start, and then by the end of the day, you're starting to prove to yourself that you are capable. You are an adult that's very responsible, intelligent, super intelligent. And this is the way I started to talk to myself too. When going through trauma, getting back out, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm super intelligent. Say
Mm-hmm.
that to yourself. I'm super intelligent. I can take care of this. I just need to take that one first action step. And sometimes it will be just that prayer, like connect, like, please help me right now. I need help. And I've said that before. And Ashlyn will immediately, she does not know I'm praying. She sends me a flippin' text message that says, Mom, here's the link to this that you were talking about. And I was totally going to ignore it. And I'm like, dun, 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 dun. I click on
Right.
it, call the place. I take care of whatever it was I needed to, like even pet vaccinations or
Mm-hmm.
with working in so many hours and scheduling, and sometimes things can feel so overwhelmed to try to get something in at that time. Am I
Yeah.
going to be able to? And so it does help. Prayer will even help bring the helpmates into your life that you need to be able to get it done too. I mean, it doesn't have to,
Yeah.
don't feel like you're always alone, but just
I
asking
agree.
these questions.
You can have your side character come in and help you out.
Ashlyn, family members, friends,
Yeah.
we're just all interconnected. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but just asking questions. Why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this way? What,
What
just
am I
questions,
assuming?
and
Mm-hmm.
then have so much compassion for yourself. Honestly, sometimes I will think I'm asking a question. I'm like, really? Is this a story you're going to tell yourself? Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have a little sidekick that's coming in, that little voice being like, well, look at you, like
Mm-hmm.
the sidekick critical person. It's like, and just being so compassionate. Wow, it's amazing. Like maybe you wake up and you feel really funky and you're going through massive guilt of something that happened that you did to somebody back in childhood or whatever. That's the first thought. I'm like, really? Is this the first thought I'm going to be woken up to?
Yeah.
And then have compassion. You're having all this compassion for other people. And we
Well, I
start to
think me and
really,
you
truly
even talked about
recognize,
too that you need to focus also on where these emotions are stemming. And a
yes,
lot of times it can also just be lack of sleep, hormones, your diet. Like maybe you had a little red 40 or sugar or gluten and it made you all whack, or maybe your period's about to start tomorrow and you're like, oh, actually, I am okay.
yes. Ashley and I were
Or
talking about
for
that
me, it's
because
the lack of sleep.
it's
If
the lack of sleep.
I will be
I'll be talking to her.
freaked out that morning and I'm like losing my mind, and then realize, oh yeah, I only did get 5 hours of sleep because I was woken up by
Yes.
my newborn every night for
And
6 hours.
that's when you really step in with massive compassion. I've had different things I've walked through where I maybe would only get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and by the time it's the second, third, fourth, fifth day, I just even last week I went every single day on my Fitbit. It was around 5 hours of sleep and just work, and um, so then you ask yourself the question when you're starting to feel like anxious or different things. I'm like, wow, this is in the future. There's nothing I can control it. But when it keeps on going down, like Ashlyn said, also I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's be real. I've gone 7 days with 5 hours of sleep each night, sometimes a little bit less. And I do not have time to take these naps, which I would love to have. And this is just a season. This is a little series. This is part of my little series.
Uh-huh.
And so if I'm going to call up somebody and talk to them, I might be a little bit brain foggy, but I also might cry. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you wonder why you're so emotional about something. Well, sleep, hormones, and definitely, like Ashton said, red 40, sugar, alcohol will
Oh
add
yeah.
to the emotional state.
Mhm.
And so the next morning you're wondering why you're all sad.
Oh my gosh,
Think
yeah.
about
Like
what you
you go
ate and
and
how much
drink,
sleep
and
you've
then the
had.
next morning you feel like it might be the end of the world.
Yes. Yeah. So those questions, and that's when I'm like, wow, I really did eat a lot. I did have some sugar that was higher content than normal or whatever. And so the next morning I'm really tired. I'm a little brain foggy. And so I'm like, well, this is how the day might roll, and that's okay.
I
So
think also for me, it's like
choice.
my season 11 self right now versus my season even like 8 self is it's so different because I don't expect perfection. And I feel like my season 8 and even 7 and even previous seasons in my life that I've had like this perfection that I was always trying to have. My seasons must have been so boring, like if I was to look back, of trying to have everything so perfect. I love season 11, Ashlyn, because I'm able to just like make those mistakes and not expect perfection out of every conversation, out of everything I do. Even in my daily routine, if I have a moment where I snap, it's like, yes, I am I can self reflect and I'm like conscious of the things I do and I'm aware. So I don't just blab things out. But at the same time, if I'm feeling a certain way, I'm willing to more express that than previously scared of maybe hurting someone's feeling. It's like now using my voice and asking for what I want or just really following along with what my spirit is telling me and feeling that freedom really release. It's actually it's freeing in that way. So I think not expecting perfection can really release so much and actually have fun in your seasons where you're not so like you are the director of it, but like isn't like the bloopers the funnest part? Like I remember being a kid and watching like bloopers after like the TV shows. And that was usually the funniest part was when like the actress like spilt water on herself or they fell and tripped. Like I love it because there's actually a part on Friends. I'm not quite sure what season it was. I believe like season 4, whenever they pretend like to throw their kid down the stairs and Ross is part of it, but Rachel really thought Jennifer Aniston really thought that they threw like the child down the stairs like in real life, and they full on like didn't tell her. So the reaction that you got was her real reaction, and it was like one of the funniest scenes in the entire like series of her like actually like freaking out like, oh my gosh, like you just threw a child down the stairs. And so it's like having that realness, that authenticness also in your series that brings out the truth beyond who you are.
Yeah.
And it's like the director only has so much, and also it's just letting go and letting
Yeah.
give.
Not trying to control everything. Even though you're
Uh-huh.
the director, let it flow. Let God take the wheel. Just,
I feel like a
let
lot
it
of
be.
times the funnest parts will come from whenever you just finally just are like, you know
Just
what?
hands up. Hands up.
Jesus,
I'm going to
take
be
the
safe.
wheel.
Yes. Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Those are some of the most miraculous, beautiful moments, though, because you're like, wow, that was much better than I thought it would. If I would
Yes,
have totally
exactly.
forced myself to do this my way, the way that it ends up being when you just release and, oh my goodness, you're like, really? That was
Yeah.
massive
I think
bonuses,
it's kind
myriad
of
miracles.
childlike because I think that kids, they don't
Yeah.
plan their days. They just,
Oh my
wherever I take
goodness.
my
Is that
kids,
not
like if
true?
I bring them to the park, they're just like, cool, we're going to go to the park. And then they're going to meet friends and they're going to mingle and they're going to run around. And they're not worried about certain little things that we're so focused on. And I get as adults that there's obviously more like things that we have to do in our schedules. But with kids, I think as adults, the real true way of actually finding that freedom is going back to who you were as a child
Yeah,
and having that fun.
I agree. Ashlyn and I both watching a series. I finished it, and Ashlyn's and it's Being
Yeah.
Erica on Amazon Prime. It's so worth it. But she is able to go back to her regrets and reflect and then see perspectives of other people. So what's coming on my heart right now is that if you're walking through your day where there's still constantly a story from your past that you regret or think, take care of it. Take care of it. We're not promised tomorrow. Take care of it the best way you can. Say a prayer into, like, if you can, write a letter if that person's not still alive or whatever, but release them, let it go, because it's taking the peace within that. I look at it this way. I feel like we get to serve and love on so many people when we are able to release our regrets and our guilt. So we're not so stuck in things that we wish we could have, should have done. And then these people that are really in our present moment in our life, we get to nurture and love on and express the real love that maybe we wish we would have done then, but it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda, and it can't happen. It's done. So as I say, like, take care of it. If it's your daughter, if it's your son, if it's an uncle, somebody that is alive that you feel like you can meld and let go of that. We're going to create a new series, a new season, and go take care of it and be open to however it's going to land. But then you did your part, it's done. And then be able to be so much more open to what's in your existence right now, working so many hours right now. I felt so spoiled, and I do feel so spoiled at how much I got to spend time with Ashlyn before as an entrepreneur and my children so much. I mean, just that I got to see her this today, like in person.
Yes.
We've both been sick and different things and with work. And so on the way home, I just thought, you just never know how your life's going to shift.
And I think too, it's like welcoming in new characters and also allowing old characters to exit. It's like sometimes there'll be guest stars that come in and you're like, wow, they're so great. And
Welcome
then
back for
they'll
the
have
season.
their fine exit. And then there might be a little bit more of a messy exit, but that's okay. You see how like that main character, and like you are the main character, but in those stories that we see in those TV shows that we watch, how they thrive after they are able to have those relationships exit. And I think we've seen it on all forms of movies and TV series. It's like once you let go of maybe that friend that isn't serving you anymore, or that guy or girl relationship that you're in, or man on man relationship that like is no longer serving you, and they leave, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad she finally got rid of him. Like, didn't you see all the red flags? So it's like, if you are able to put yourself in like that outer perspective looking in, it's actually a beautiful way of doing that and seeing like, oh, actually, if I was watching this TV show, it might be, I would think it's really boring, or oh my gosh, I would be screaming at the TV telling her to leave. Or I would be like, get out that room. Like, don't let those people talk to you like that. So view it in that perspective, and you will want to take the reins on your story and hold up that camera. Just like we are the ones right now, we are creating this new season of season 2 for Now That's Love. We knew this was our time to create the season because we were hopping into a new season in our lives.
Definitely.
And we wanted to be able to show y'all like, hey, like that season 1 of Now That's Love of Janae and Ashlyn, we're still here, but oh my gosh, we're forever interchanging. We're having new characters come in. I welcomed a new baby this season. So it's like I'm interchanging, I'm changing different ways of who I am and trying to find this different like identity of mom of 2 and stuff. But deep down, I'm also Ashlyn true and through with my roots. And I know who I am. And I think that that's the most important part, is finding like within yourself, what is your main character's divine like beliefs and roots of who you are. And when you find that, nothing's going to be able to shake that from you. And I think that's the key to the main character. In any story, it's like she's like the person that's the hero within that. And whenever you find, it's like, you know yourself and you love yourself, and being that hero in your story and taking that and just like being the victor, I think will really change the way you enter into this new season with us.
Yes. 2 weeks ago, I made a big decision, and that was a habit that I wanted to change out of my characteristics and not be in my new season. I'm just saying, and it's one of the very I think that it's very hard for a lot of people to let go of, and I thought, okay, was this story I'm telling myself is that I can't do it or it's impossible, or I had to completely reframe everything that I had told myself for years to have this be an addiction and a habit for myself. And we're going to talk more about it into the season, so stay tuned. But just having complete compassion, it was so awesome to know that all the work that Ashley and I have done on this YouTube channel, I was starting to extremely implement it in this week, was 10 days ago, where I thought, I know myself. I know my characteristics. I know I don't want this to be part of my life. And I also know that I love myself and that I'm the number one person, the one person that's got to show the most immense compassion for being a Looney Tune or whatever, the little things that are going to happen with me not having this anymore. And it was just beautiful that morning that I was 3 or 4 days into releasing and letting go of the situation of what we'll talk about later. It's a cliffhanger. I'll tell you later.
I also think too, like, the thing that everyone should...
Ashlyn, speaking to the speaker.
One thing that everyone should do is making sure that they have like their list of their core beliefs and their characteristics. Like, if is it confidence? Is it like intelligence? And it's not like, I think a lot of times people can think that it comes off as like cocky, but like, you need to know who you are. And by writing these things down, write down, I am this, 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 and this, or I have done this. And there's many things that you need to be able to write down who you are. And I mean, yes, it's forever changing, but what are those core things? Like, are you full on always loyal and you have integrity and honest, or are you just, you're great at communicating, your needs, like your boundaries? And with our course, we also help with enforcing and learning about these boundaries so you can really put it out there for yourself and for others. So we have that course also in our link below with our website that's going to be coming out in anytime now.
Yeah, the course is finished. We're just finishing up the
website for the link.
So yes, that was the course that Ashley and I built was exactly why we can be in season 7 or 11 or 24 or 35. Yeah. I'm a little bit older than Ashley. So we have some seasons, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like you would be season 24. That sounds about right. That's a good number. I don't know why I like that number.
I'm season 24. So we just wanted to come on here and just bring in 2 to 3 questions to ask yourself, and also to take action. Try not to be this person that's super in control, and also just having compassion and not trying to be in the perfectionist boat, because we're all going to make mistakes on a daily basis. And even in our head, what we're judging of another, or criticizing, we know where it comes back to us. So that's a question I like to ask myself too, is if I'm feeling funky and I'm starting to judge something of somebody else, I think, where is this showing up in my life? Or why am I using this as a distraction about, I'm so concerned about somebody else's shortfallings, when I'm pretty sure I have 3 or 4 things, if not more, that I could be like focusing on right now to be a better person, my own self.
100% agree. So go ahead and reintroduce yourself, and maybe right below in the comments, what's your season name, or what season are you hopping into, and what do you want to come forth in this season of this new version of you? Or maybe you're redefining something in yourself or changing something, or maybe you just want to like keep going forth and forward and add cute little sparkles to your day.
Yeah. So on Etsy,
so cute.
Here is
Let Me Reintroduce Myself.
And you can get all different colors. There's navy blue, red, yellow, black, white. But this is a shirt that was designed by us uniquely because we really feel like we keep on reintroducing ourselves to each other.
I think it also brings in grace for yourself and
Yes.
others around you, knowing that, like, I think it's so funny because even on my Facebook, it's like I see friends from high school or people from high school, and sometimes I can have them stuck in high school. And I like
Hmm.
realize, oh my gosh, if I've changed so much in the past 10 years, I can't even imagine how much everyone else has changed. It's like, so getting yourself out of that box, getting everyone else out of that box,
So well
go
said.
go into your friend group and be like wearing your Etsy shirt and being like, let me reintroduce myself. Let me tell
Right.
you who I am, what I'm about now, and let's make this an authentic relationship with each other. Tell me about you. Like that's the best part about being friendships is growing with each other. Even when my
Yes.
relationship with me and Jerome, there's like moments where I'm like, you know what, Jerome, like I gotta tell you like the tea right now of what I'm feeling right now about myself and where I'm moving or where I want to go and the new things that you want out of life. It's always forever interchanging. What you wanted maybe a month ago is maybe something you don't want
Right.
anymore, and that's okay. Even out of friendships or relationships or even with yourself, that you can change that past thinking, especially negative past thinking, into this like beautiful, bright future.
Yes.
Redefining.
So yeah, that shirt is so much fun to wear. And you have little groups of girls nights, and I'll have your thing and like, let me reintroduce myself
You're
because
right, for
sometimes,
real.
yeah, it's
Love it.
it's fun. It's fun to get to know the new version of each person. And some people, it might be inspiring too because they might be in a pattern thinking that they really can't. But our brains are so neuroplasticity; they can be rewired.
Yeah, and
And
I think too, you
amazingly,
can
you're
even just
never
make up
stuck.
a fake avatar of yourself. Like, let me
Yes.
reintroduce Ashlyn. She's this, and she's making $1 million a year. Like,
I know she
and
is, and she's already
present it.
surpassed
She
that.
is. Uh-huh. Amen.
Yeah, we visualizing your future in a good way. We're talking about not having anxiety by visualizing your future and assuming the worst case scenario either way. But you can visualize your future and program it to expect that there's expectation of, yes, I mean, I do have a wonderful career and I am very happy in serving others and whatever it is your expectation is, or even your health. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're constantly saying things like, I'm so fat, I'm so stupid, I'll never get this right, those kind of things really have power in keeping
Mm,
you stuck.
yeah.
And recognizing too, one thing that Ash and I were talking about earlier was not on this, but just earlier together, was just recognizing the excuses we make for ourselves. If there's something that's going to stop you from doing what you desire or want or would love to achieve,
Yeah.
and you
Limitations.
just have to notice the sentence you say before that or what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Like, I don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's in control of your time?
Yeah.
And how can you take things out and add things in? I see that with myself already within 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
weeks. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got to reorganize and figure out how,
Yeah.
morning and night, how I'm really feeling like I have a balanced life.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
in
feel like you
charge of
can
it.
really start to create limitations with yourself as even
Yes.
just me as being a mom. It's like I feel like sometimes I can be stuck in like this mom bubble of like I'm just a mom, but then I have to realize like, oh, I also have different attributes of myself where I want to get my PhD and I want to thrive in now that's love and I want to there's different parts of me and I want to be great at all of it. So it's like prioritizing my time. Obviously my kids are number 1, but like I want them to also see me thrive in other things and be like, wow, like my mom was doing this with us, but at the same time, she was also taking care of herself. And the best thing you can do is take care of yourself and fill up your cup so you're able to pour into other people's cups. And I think the power of words, like you were saying, um, we were talking about this earlier, not on here, but together, just the power of words of like in my house we don't say stupid, and it's I don't call myself stupid, I don't call my kids stupid obviously, but like instead of saying it I reframe it into silly. So whenever my sons do something, sometimes in the back of my mind I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so stupid, he just like fell off the couch. Oh my goodness, he's playing with sticks, he just bombed his head into the corner of a wall, then I'm just like, oh, that was super silly. So, like, whenever he makes a mistake, he's not saying, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. He'll be like, "Oh, mama, I'm so silly." And now with him having a little brother, his little brother will hit his head on something or, fall over a little bit because he's crawling now, and he's like, "Oh, little brother's so silly." I'm like, "Yep, he
Right.
is."
They repeat, don't they? They definitely
Uh-huh.
repeat. And we get to create our Ashen is in her beautiful season of young momhood
Yes.
and
So, yeah, I think that's part of,
um
like, enjoying that season. It's, like, not being hard on myself with certain things and trying to take grasp of, "Okay, I can handle this now." I kind of have understand the mom of 2 thing, even though I know it's forever interchanging. But I can, like, see, "Okay, now I can kinda start fitting this into my schedule and this into my schedule," and, I don't wanna limit myself to just one thing. I wanna be able, and I've always been this type
multifaceted.
of person. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever I had Malay, I was doing school and I was, doing all these little different things and starting our business. It's time for me to be having the course finished now and their website going. I think it's empowering to realize who I am as a person and what I want out of life. And once I'm able to kind of write down the list of the goals that I have and focus in on it, it really reminds me of who I am as a person and, like, where I'm at and all the things that I have accomplished and how far I've gotten. It's like you have to have that drive, and finding that drive inside of
Yeah.
you, it's like, "Oh, it's still there."
Yeah, being proud of the character
And there's
you
those seasons
are
where it's okay to
becoming.
rest too. I'm happy I've
Mhm.
had moments of
Right.
rest and not the ongoing go, 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 go. Because it also helped me slow down, like, with Zane feeding, I'm like, it's like that saying of, like, that kid that always wants to be held is meant to be in your life to slow things down for you, and I think having Malay and Zane have really helped me slow down my life, and I'm grateful for that. Like, I've had
Mhm.
seasons where I'm like, "Let's get this done, let's get this done, let's get this done. I have to finish this. I have this to write and this to post." And I was able to really, and I'm still on that kind of, like, slow pace, but at the same time, I feel like more focused and
Yeah,
direct.
we have. I mean, Mother Nature shows us like winter, it's slow down,
Mhm.
snuggle in. In spring, we're starting to feel that
Bounce up.
springness of like, I'm starting to grow in this way, that way.
Yes.
It'll be the
Oh, yeah,
summertime baking in the sun.
Easter time.
So, yeah, and Easter. So it just, the seasons literally in life and in nature and on our own little
It's all
episode.
around
What do
us.
you want to be and what do you want to rewatch? I mean, what would you want to
For real.
rewatch? Think about that when you wake up in the morning. Do I want to watch this episode again? If whatever I'm creating today, and well, I want to rewatch this. Like,
Yeah.
um, just have fun with it, and the more you can just like
For me,
have
that was a
compassion
mic
for
drop
yourself.
for sure. The
Yeah,
rewatching factor. Would you like to go back in, like, 30 years and rewatch what you're doing right now? And sometimes it's a no, and that's okay because it's like, don't go back, keep going back into the past, but have some fun episodes where you want to go back and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I
great
created this
memories.
memory with this person
Hmm.
and I wasn't just on my screen all day."
Right. Do I want to rewatch this again? I've asked that. That's another question I'll ask myself when something will come up of a scenario of maybe a past relationship or something. And I'm like, am I really going to sit here right now and my precious time and
Mhm.
rehash this in my brain? Like, do
Yeah.
I really want to relive this? And my brain's like, no, but when you practice this on a daily basis, it will automatically do it for you. Your
Yeah.
brain just instantly says, this is silly. Just like Ashlyn said, it's not stupid. It's just silly. It's silly. Get out, um, and instantly go into something different. It's not the denial or spiritual bypassing by any means. It's more like, listen, if I just let this keep on going every which way, I'm going to have 5 main stories that are ridiculous
Mhm.
that I really can't change and do anything about. So,
Yeah. And like you said, it's like everyone has their different show going on, and sometimes
hmm
just let them run with it, and you just hop back on your TV show and you be your main character and you
yeah,
reintroduce
just spread
yourself.
love. Just kidding. Just spread love. No,
Peace.
I mean, well, we do.
Peace, love, and happiness.
We want everybody to be like, we want to solve problems. We want to make sure everybody's in like not mad at us or whatever, all these different things. And the thing is, we just don't have control over that. We just have to do our best, compassion, and also don't, we're not perfect. I'm sure I say something on a daily basis that anybody could take one way or another.
Well, thank
Anyways,
y'all
much
for
love.
hopping onto this episode with us. And
Yes.
you go create your own, and lots of love.
Create your character. Starting today, if you haven't already, get that character going. Bye.
Bye.